started on this one. I just need to declare a conflict of interest because this particular agenda item is discussing our electricity suppliers, and as I have an association with one of our electricity suppliers, I think it would be fair to say I can listen, but I won't vote on your resolution.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor. Okay. Neil, you back?
Right, back again.
Nice to have you back.
Thank you. Has everyone got the handout that was tabled on your desks?
New number 8.
The new item, I should say. Cool. Right. Okay. So brief background. We currently in the final year of a 3-year contract with Trust Power for the supply of our electricity for the district. That's broken down into 3 elements. It's what's called non-time of use sites, time of use sites, and street lighting. So there are 3 areas. Given the complex nature of the electricity market and how different companies price, we've used for the second time a company called LNG Select, who has basically a 25% market share in this type of work in New Zealand, to run the tender process for us, to analyse all of the information coming back and to provide a recommendation to us. So Dennis and I have been in discussions with them throughout this process, and the way that the consultancy company works in terms of working with all the major players is they very much work on a best foot forward approach. So the parties are under no illusion that their best offers must be put forward to us. And coming out of that is a recommendation whereby we split the contract based on the offers that have come back between Contact Energy for the time of use sites and Trust Power for the non-time of use and street lighting. So that is the recommendation that has been put forward in the item. And it's a three-year contract.
Your Worship, what are the terminologies, Mr. Ward, in regards to what's time of use sites and non-time of use? I understand street lighting, I think.
Yeah. Time of use basically runs off a metering process where they monitor the basically the hourly consumption that goes on there. So it's the greatest explanation, but it's
metered and unmetered.
Yeah.
So the only question I ask is there any implication, accounting purposes or anything like that? Does that pose like, having 2 sort of, how do they get paid?
It's probably a slightly increased challenge administratively, but to get the best overall outcome for the community, we believe that this is the best deal.
Yeah. And this Energy Select or whatever they're called, did they go to every power company in New Zealand, or just
they put the tender out to every power company? 8 of the 9 that are in the market submitted tenders. Yeah.
And what's been the previous price paid for this?
We've got a saving of about 100,000 per annum coming out of this contract. This new contract.
Sorry, Councillor Stewart.
I just have a question on the second one with Trust Power on the non-time of use sites. It says for the 3 years at an estimated sum of. Can someone explain why it's an estimated sum?
Yeah, because it's a good question, but the answer is because I don't know how much people are going to turn their light switches on and the air conditioning on in this building. So it's volume times price. So the price is fixed, the volume is variable.
Thank you.
Okay, any other queries? I'm certainly happy with that suggested resolution. The 2 companies that do put a lot into this district as well. So that's it. Well, Contact Energy obviously got a lot of employees here and a lot of activities here, and also Trust Power who do the volunteers or the volunteer awards every year. So 2 reputable companies. Any other queries? Questions? I have a mover for that suggested resolution then, please. Councillor Stewart, seconded by Councillor Harvey. Sorry, Councillor Cousins, you missed out. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, Carried. Thanks, Neil. Item number 9.
Cindy just rang up. I thought my camera's frozen because you apparently had your hand up.
Good afternoon.
I'd like to submit the items
About the captions, are they still operating, are they, or are you using
dormant.
dormant?
Both these, the entities in item 9 and 10 are both dormant. And it's basically what this does is it means that we don't have to prepare statements of intent, annual reports, half-yearly reports, so it takes a lot of administrative hassle away from our area.
Okay.
I move straight to resolution option 1. It's pretty much all self-explanatory, so I said, can we just motion forward to option 1?
Item number 9, suggested resolution.
Yeah.
Moving that?
Yeah.
Cool. Move to Councillor Cousins, Councillor Body, all those in favour, say aye.
Aye.
Against, carried. Item 10, same thing?
This is the same.
Sorry. Yep. Okay.
Your Worship, can someone please explain that if, I know they're dormant, and if we do what we're attempting to do to take them as a council controlled organisation, where do we monitor their performance, their statements of intent? How dramatically does that change? Well, I mean, we're putting 1.7 million in. Where that doesn't mean anything.
Can I answer the question? Through the chair, Destination Lake Taupo Limited is not Destination Great Lake Taupo Trust. Destination Lake Taupo Limited is a shelf company that we set up years ago to protect the name. That is all it is.
Okay. Thanks, Jeanette. Moving for that, please, Councillor Williamson, seconded by Councillor Jollins. Thank you. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
It's carried. Item 11, the adoption of the governance statement. Hi, Hillary. How are you, Hillary?
Good, thank you.
Good. Okay, this was being circulated a couple of weeks ago and also in your agenda. So have we got any, Hillary, do you want to talk about it, or?
I haven't got much to add. I'll just take it as read. But I just given the upcoming by-election, we just made a slight addition to the resolution so that we can just update the local government statement once that occurs without having to come back to council. So
you've got a suggestion there? Yep. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you. All right, any questions? Valerie. Councillor Jollins.
Just could you spell my name correctly? There's just an E in the middle of Roseanne, if you could take that out. It's just a trap for young players. Thank you.
Oh, no, this one, no, Mr. Allen.
You were spilt right again. Councillor Body.
Samuel, this is just in regards to some of the things that are in the government statement. What's the Taupo Borough Empowering Act?
yeah, that's an interesting one. It's just it was an old act, which probably should have been done away with in the 2002 amendments, but it hasn't been, so it's just still sitting there at this stage, but is really out of date, so it's probably something that needs to be tidied up, but hasn't been.
So then, through you, Your Worship, refer to 1111, where it's the Secret Commissions Act of 1910 and the application of us getting rewards and gifts, and where do corporate events tickets come into that equation?
Rob at the back.
There he is, Mr. Lawyer.
I can just perhaps firstly on the Empowering Act, back when it was passed in 1970, you couldn't set up a visitor centre. Council didn't have the power to set up visitor centres. So you had special legislation to do it. And as we said, it should have fallen off when you got that power in 2002. Actually, you got the power before that, but it's still there. The Secret Commissions Act has no relationship to gifts or anything to do with that. What the Secret Commissions Act is about is if you're involved in a commercial transaction, you can't take a backhander. Well, you can, but you have to tell everybody about it. So it doesn't relate at all to corporate gifts. It's somebody taking a commission for the council doing a commercial deal and then not revealing it.
Okay, so effectively then through you, Your Worship, 1111 when it states which prohibits elected members from accepting gifts or rewards is irrelevant.
It's gifts or rewards relating to giving work. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Rob. Any other queries or questions on Hillary? On that? Okay, all good. Just got a suggested resolution there, or an amended resolution, and obviously that's a common sense one there. Change the names. Could I have a mover, please? Councillor Cousins. Thank you very much. Seconded by Councillor Jollins. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you. Okay, thanks, Hillary. What have we got here?
I'm here for the next three.
Oh, yeah. Oh, code of conduct. Okay, you again? Yep.
And nothing more to add except the resolution should read Code of Conduct 2014 rather than 2010.
Okay, have we got any changes or queries on this one?
Your Worship, through you, just some quick queries. It's good to see that the Appendix 3 that was on the back of the old Code of Conduct is now included in the main document. I also, comparing the two, Your Worship, found that the old Code of Conduct was extremely easy to follow if you were discussing it as we are in this meeting, because, for instance, in the document at the moment, 3.2, you then had each paragraph was numbered, and the new one it's not. And I'm just wondering whether that would assist in further debates or using of this document, we can refer to those specific by number, rather than having to say the third paragraph down or the fourth paragraph up, as the old document was in fact numbered.
Do that. Yep. Do that. I see just in the old one, did everyone sign theirs? The old one?
The last triennium.
Yeah. They did? Okay. So, happy to sign. So you'll circulate that around to be signed. Thanks, Helen. Cool. Any other questions or queries? All right. Code of conduct. There's a move for that. Maybe. Thank you. Councillor Stewart will second it, please. Councillor Harvey, thank you. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against, carry. Item number 14. 13, sorry. Exciting. Ooh, money's worth today, eh? Consultation to assist with drafting of commemorative furniture, planting and burial guidelines.
Could I move, Your Worship, the suggested resolution?
More than happy to accept that suggested resolution. Now have a seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Williamson. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Item number 14. Fresh water management. Yeah, this is a retrospective one.
Yeah, so unfortunately this was circulated in November, so we weren't able to get it in on the December agenda in time, unfortunately, so that's why we followed the process with circulating it via email.
We received some comments regarding that, which is good. Any questions or queries of Hillary on this one? Can I have a mover for that, please?
Well, I've got just a couple of queries.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Samuel, when did you actually get this document from Local Government New Zealand? Because I think they've been a little bit unfair on our staff under pressure to get this out, and I think it was at a later date.
The issue was that LGNZ actually received an extension of time from the Ministry of Environment, so we had a shorter time frame than what Local Government New Zealand did. So they recirculated theirs, and I got it 2 days before I recirculated it to you. It was at draft at that point. There were minimal changes. The only significant change to the submission was the conclusion, which I have got copies of here if you would like me to circulate those.
I read this document quite extensively, and I'd like to support the letter written by CEO Williams in this regard. I think particularly the second paragraph sums up the issue quite well in that particular letter. I also would like to refer to 14/27, where it states exceptions to national bottom lines, which gives us a little bit more room for discussion later in the day.
Okay. All right. Suggested resolution that retrospective approval for the submission. Moved by Councillor Hickling, seconded by Councillor Cousins. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against, carried. Item number